Mazda has just revealed the all-new 2024 CX-90. This is their flagship three-row SUV meant to replace the CX-9. And in this video, we are going to pick through every part of it and show you all of the detail.
It's time to sell our long-term Ford Bronco, and we're doing it over at TFLbids.com. That's right, one of you can be the very proud owner of our 2021 Ford Bronco First Edition. Check it out in the link below.
Under the hood of this Mazda CX-90 is, well, something that we can't quite look at yet because this is a pre-production model that we're allowed to walk around. But Mazda has revealed the specifications for the two different powertrain options that will be available here. The first is a 2.5-liter inline four-cylinder plug-in hybrid option. Total output on that powertrain will be 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Because it's a plug-in hybrid, you'll also have a 17.8 kilowatt-hour battery to support that system. And that is all paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is also new to Mazda. Now, if you want the more powerful option, you can get a 340 horsepower, 3.3-liter inline six-cylinder turbo. And the power output on that is greater, 340, but the torque is the same, still at 369, and it still uses that same 8-speed automatic transmission. But that 3.3-liter inline six, which is what this particular model is, it's also a mild hybrid system, so it does have an electric motor sandwiched between the engine and the transmission. Now let's talk a little bit about styling and design on this Mazda CX-90. It's something they've emphasized a lot with the release of this car. And from first glance, there is immediately obvious Mazda design language here. Everything from the shape of the grille back is very much Mazda's design language, but there are a few details that are worth pointing out in particular. Specifically at the front here, this running light that is built into the trim around the grille. Pretty unique. Something else is these functional vents here. You can actually see a little bit of light through them, so that is directing air. And I have to say, while a lot of manufacturers are going away from chrome, making things satin or blacked out, you do have some subtle chrome accents on the car. Moving back, you have 21-inch, what they call diamond cut wheels, and 21 inches is a large diameter wheel. However, I would say personally, with the overall size of this three-row SUV, these wheels actually look properly sized for the car. Something else stands out to me here, this badge that says inline six. Now, if you have the plug-in hybrid, it says PHEV. However, on this car, it has the inline six. And speaking of that inline six, look at how long this hood is. Obviously out of necessity because an inline six is a long engine. Down here at the bottom, you have one other bit of chrome along the side and some Mazda script there at the back. And if we move all the way back, taillights, similar design language to what you get in the rest of Mazda's lineup, just scaled up here for the CX-90. Mazda has yet to reveal any details about towing figures for the CX-90. However, if we look at this prototype, well, we can see that there is, in fact, a hitch here, and it's got a 7-pin wiring connector. Now, just because there's a hitch, well, yeah, we still don't know how much it's going to tow. What we can say is that the outgoing CX-9 is rated to tow 3,500 pounds. Something else around the back of the car here. Thankfully, Mazda has not gone the route of fake exhaust pipes. So the exhaust pipes are obscured underneath, but I will take that any day over a fake exhaust. Stepping inside of the new CX-90, attention to design and detail continues. You have a lot throughout this interior that is unique. It feels pretty fresh. Specifically, this on the dash, the way that this is stitched and put together. This is a really cool dash material, very soft to the touch. Same thing with the wood trim that's below. This is a very modern, chic interior. Now, a few things that we look for whenever we get into a new vehicle: hard buttons for the climate controls. You have not only hard buttons for the heated steering wheel, heated seat, ventilated seats, but you have hard buttons for all of it, your temperature controls, and these buttons are nice to the touch. It's just nice to have hard buttons rather than a screen that gives you maybe some feedback, maybe not. So that is there. We also have a physical volume knob, another good feature to have. And something pretty impressive is this 12.3 inch infotainment screen. And then in front of me as the driver, I have a digital instrument cluster as well. So a good amount of technology here in this car. An actual physical shifter here instead of a rotary dial or push buttons. It's another thing that we really like to see in cars, and it feels nice in hand, as does the steering wheel in terms of design, materials. The touch points are all really well thought out on this car. It's not to say that there aren't some more plasticky materials in places where maybe you don't look as often, but for the parts of the car that you interact with and look at most frequently, it's really nice. And something that I absolutely love is the way that the metal trim on the door card goes into the side vent. It's a really nice way of framing the dash. Mazda has done a great job in designing this interior. Jumping in the rear row, you have a lot of the same luxury that you get in the front. Around the back, you get your own climate controls, your own climate vents, you get your own USB-C ports, and around the back, the materials and the comfort is very similar. You get these same thick rugs down here. You have the same looking materials and design on the door card, and it's overall decently spacious. I am about 5'10", and I've got headroom to spare. I would say maybe if you're 6'2", you might be starting to push it, but for me, it's a plenty spacious rear seat. You can also bring the seat back a little bit, which might help you in terms of headroom. And this particular configuration is 2-2-2. So this is a 6-seater. However, the CX-90 will be available even as an 8-seater. So there are a few different options that you could pick from. Here in the back on this particular spec, we have captain's chairs with a center console in the middle. So an impressively deep console for some storage, nicely padded armrests and cup holders here in the front. And look at that, you also get a shade for the back, which is always nice to have. Now, just because I got to try it, might as well hop into the third row. And the ingress is not too bad. You have to step up a little high off the ground, but it's far from the worst ingress that I've ever had getting into a third row. And you still have, look at that, the same thick floor mats all the way back here. If I pull the seat back, oh, this is impressive. So I have nearly as much leg room in the third row, at least with where these seats are at right now, as I did in the front, but they are pushed up. So if you were to slide it back, you'd have less leg room. Let's see how much less. Oh yeah, well, you can slide it back pretty far, I guess. I mean, I'm still not touching the back of this seat. The other thing that I noticed sitting back here is that it feels like my butt is dropped down as far as it can go to give me headroom, which I would say has worked, because even in the third row, I'm not struggling for headroom. But my feet are struggling for a place to go because they're right now sandwiched under the seat. Granted, I have big boots on, but yeah, not a ton of foot room. I do have 2 cup holders back here though, my own USB-C port and my own vent, and that's true of both sides of the back seat. So decent amenities back here. I mean, having your own vents in the third row, that alone is pretty impressive and pretty nice to have. Of course, we have to go into the trunk, power liftgate, as you would expect on a luxurious model. And behind the third row of seats, not a ton of room, as to be expected with most 3 rows, but whenever you are not carrying passengers in that third row, you can flip these seats down and expand this space massively. This adds a lot more storage room to your cargo area. And a few things back here. You have some tools. You do have some power here in the trunk. So you have a regular 120 outlet and you have an old school 12 volt. There are still a lot of details and specifications about this new CX-90 that Mazda has yet to reveal. Some of that even includes the fuel economy. But what they did say when they were talking about this new CX-90 is that it will have improved fuel economy compared to the outgoing CX-9. And the CX-9 had 20 miles per gallon city, 26 miles per gallon highway, 23 combined. So we can reasonably expect better figures than that, especially on the plug-in hybrid model. And that's impressive considering that the most power output that you could get out of the CX-9 is 250 horsepower, so more powerful and more efficient. Now, we are expecting this car to come out sometime in the spring, and pricing and the rest of those details are yet to come, but as soon as that information is available, we will be reporting on it. As for now, that is all we have, and that is the tour of the CX-90. Let us know what you think down in the comments below, and we'll catch you all in the next video.